What can I say?
Character design is one of the most important parts of any movie. Unlike in a book, when as soon as you see the character, you're immediately launched into their story. With a movie, you see the character many times before the movie's ever released, in promo shoots, in trailers, and so on. So a character's visual design has to be enough to really make you want to watch their movie. Now, obviously, Daisy Ridley is so cute. So you immediately want to watch the movie anyway. But still, Rey's design in terms of a character is also excellent. Rey's visual design says so much about her character. For starters, that dress is not like a over-the-top elaborate costume that your average superhero might wear. It's a shabby dress that's covered in stains. It clearly says, here's a character that's been through a lot already, that's lived, that's a real person. And because of that, you immediately want to know her backstory. And of course, the fact that her dress looks like a Jedi already doesn't exactly harm it either. And then there's Rey's weapon, the staff. Man, does that look a lot like a double lightsaber. And you're thinking, Darth Maul, at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge. And you want Rey to pick up a double lightsaber, and you're wondering, oh my god, is it gonna happen? Are we gonna see the double lightsaber again? And then you're also wondering, if she's already got a staff, she must already be a fighter. And if she's already a fighter, where did she learn to fight? What's that element of her backstory? Does she already have Jedi skills? Has she been trained in fighting? There's so many questions that immediately come to mind just from seeing an image of Rey, even before you've seen the movie.
What can I say?
One of the most important things that any writer, director, or actor can do is immediately make you interested in the character. Rey immediately captures our attention. When we meet her at first, she's abseiling down a Star Destroyer. How cool is that? But not only is it cool, it also raises questions. Why is she abseiling? Is she some sort of rock climber? Is this the rock climbing Jedi that we're meeting now? Why is she in a Star Destroyer? How did the Star Destroyer get there? Why is she taking all these parts? Again, there's so many questions that immediately come to mind the minute you meet Rey that you can't help but want to watch the rest of the movie.
What can I say?
Take a look at your favorite sci-fi or fantasy character, or most other characters for that matter. There's a very good chance that that character sacrifices themselves for the greater good at some point in the story. Story theorists believe that self-sacrifice is the single best way to gain a viewer's empathy for a character. When we see a character self-sacrificing themselves for another character, or for a moral, or for the greater good, we immediately think, wow, there's a hero. That's why Katniss Everdeen sacrifices herself for her sister when she takes her sister's place in the Hunger Games. That's why Obi-Wan sacrifices himself in A New Hope. That's why Harry Potter sacrifices himself in the Deathly Hallows when he's willing to die for his cause. And it's why Han Solo sacrifices himself in an attempt to save his son. People simply love characters that sacrifice themselves for the greater good. But Rey's self-sacrifice is slightly different. At the very start of the movie, she risks herself when Tito has BB-8 in a net. Now, there's a character, BB-8, that Rey doesn't even know yet. She's no reason to sacrifice herself for BB-8, but she does it anyway, which immediately makes her a hero. And then she's offered 40 portions for the droid, for BB-8, which she refuses, even though she could have a massive buffet for 40 days on those portions. She still sacrifices herself. Self-sacrifice is the single best way in which any writer, movie director, or actor can make us fall in love with their characters. Because the moment we see somebody self-sacrificing themselves for somebody else's benefit, we immediately know there's a damn good person.
What can I say?
One of the most important ways in which writers, directors, and actors gain empathy for a character is by showing some reflection of the audience, of you, in that character. Think about your favorite character. Odds are that there is some way in which that character represents you. Now, one of my favorite characters, other than Rey, is Neytiri from Avatar. Now, what does Neytiri do that represents me? Well, she's a bit of a spiritualist who completely loves and protects nature and believes that nature is and the environment is the most important thing that there is, and that's pretty much where I come from. So that's why I love Neytiri, and you probably have similarities to your own favorite characters. How does Rey represent us? Well, Rey's story is all about leaving home. At the beginning, she doesn't want to leave home. It's the last thing that she would ever think about doing. But then after meeting BB-8 and getting involved with the First Order, she has to leave home. And after leaving home, she constantly misses home and she wants to go back because she's waiting for her family. We can all empathize with that. Who hasn't been the student who's going away to university, who's hella excited because university is a blast? My God, my university days were fun. But we've all been there. And not only are we kind of excited and a little bit nervous to leave, we also miss home as Rey does. So by having the story about her leaving home and about her finding herself outside of her home, she represents all of us. And that's why so many people love Rey. She forgives Finn when she finds out the truth. Now, a moment ago I said that self-sacrifice is one of the main ways in which authors, writers, and directors gain empathy for a character because we love people who sacrifice themselves for the greater good. There are several similar traits that writers also use. Bravery, like soldiers in movies, is one popular trait. Kindness, a sense of moral code, and forgiveness. Those are key components that a writer, director, or actor can use to make a really likable character. One of the main traits of Rey in The Force Awakens is her forgiveness. Finn is her best friend in the whole world, but he's her only friend because she's so lonely. And then she finds out that he's been lying to her from the beginning, and instead of being on the good side, he's actually a stormtrooper. That's pretty much the biggest lie you could ever tell anyone, ever. But Rey straight up forgives him. And then you're sitting there watching the movie, watching Rey forgive Finn, and you're thinking, wow, I seriously wish there were people as forgiving as Rey in real life. It's hard not to like a character that is so accepting of another character or another person's flaws and forgives them for that. Everyone loves a character like that. She's actually really, really bad at fighting and with a lightsaber. Now, okay, on Jakku, she does kind of get in a fight with a couple of thug-like characters, but they're minor characters. We don't even know who they are. They're probably just like the drunken Lao at your bar, you know? So she beats those two characters. But throughout the whole rest of the movie, she's shown as not really being that good of a fighter. She's constantly needing help, and when she fights Kylo Ren the first time, he completely destroys her, gets her in a chokehold, and could decapitate her if he wanted to. Now, why does it matter that Rey is not a good fighter from the beginning? Well, anytime you watch an action movie or a fantasy or a sci-fi, anything like that, with a fighter or any character who is too powerful at the beginning, you kind of feel put off with them. Because you haven't seen them grow that strong. You don't know why they're such a powerful person. You feel like they're already miles above everyone else, and you don't even know why. A much better way to write a character is to have them start off weak as a kind of everyman or woman. Then, they grow stronger, and you get to see them grow stronger. They're like your best friend, and you're cheering them on as they struggle through this fight, but they gradually grow stronger. That's why Rey's fight resonates with us all, because we've seen her being this weak-ish character who's down and out on Jakku, and we watch her fight and grow stronger. So by the time she's finally ready to fight Kylo Ren, we've been with her throughout her entire journey towards strength. We feel like we're a part of her story before she even becomes the hero. That's a much better way to write a character than your average Superman, Superwoman who is just born godlike from the very beginning.
What can I say?
Oh, the mystery. Remember how you felt when you saw Rey open that lightsaber chest? You get the Darth Vader breath. There's people that look like Kylo Ren, the Knights of Ren, all over the place. You see young Rey and you've no idea who she was back then. There's so many mysteries. And that is one of the most important parts of a character. A character must have a backstory. A character without a backstory is like a person who hasn't lived and has just woken up after a 40-year coma. They've got nothing that makes them interesting. You have to have a backstory so that viewers and readers will wonder, where's this character come from? What is it about her that makes her so different to everyone else? What is her history? What's she been through in life? There's so many questions that you feel you need to know the answer to. That's why everyone is so damn exciting, and I'm sweating with excitement. Actually, it's with the heat. But I'm sweating with excitement about Episode 8 because I cannot wait to find out all the answers to those mysteries about Rey that Episode 7 presented.
What can I say?
Any mediocre or bad action movie, sci-fi or fantasy will start with a character that is so strong from the beginning that there's no way that anybody could challenge them. In which case, what's the point? Because you know they're going to defeat the evil forces. You know they're going to save the day. And the whole thing is effectively wrapped up because it's Superman or Superwoman or some other character that is ridiculously strong from the very beginning. It's not that interesting when you do it that way. A great writer instead will start off with a weak character. So you're questioning, hey, I don't know whether this sort of girl over here can really take down the entire of the First Order. I mean, she's not even got any Jedi strength. And between you and me, her lightsaber skills really aren't that good right now. Do you know what I'm saying? That is much better way to write a character. Because there's immediate intrigue. You think, how in the hell is this lonely girl on Jakku possibly going to get so strong that she's going to defeat Kylo Ren and the First Order? How's that going to happen? You have to watch to find out. And that's why starting with a weak character, or weak-ish character like Rey, is so much better than starting with a character that is superhuman from the very beginning. By being fragile and kind of vulnerable, we cheer for Rey because she's an underdog. Just like Leicester City were an underdog in the Premier League. Now, if you're American, Canadian, whatever, you don't watch the Premier League, basically Leicester City won the Premier League as a complete underdog. It probably happened in Super Bowl, MLB, and all that other stuff as well. We love underdogs. You start a character off as an underdog, watch them grow to strength, and finally become strong enough to take on the bad guys or the power at the top. And then you're cheering for them because you've seen them grow to strength. And that's why Rey is such a damn good character. Because she isn't your typical action figure. She's not your superhero. She's a regular woman who is completely presented throughout every scene as somebody that isn't overly powerful. So you wonder whether she's strong enough to take down the First Order, whether she's going to survive. There's so many questions and you're kind of worried about her because she might actually die. So you're so much more invested in that kind of character. And that is basically why Rey is such a bloody good movie character. But maybe I've missed some points. Do you love Rey? What's your opinion on Rey? What do you think it is about her character that makes her so popular? Leave a comment and remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching.